skill shotnya on point terus ya.
Alah kena.
Dicicil terus
Ini mau pulang loh mas.
Mau pulang loh mas. Dijemput lagi.
Ini ada komen dari Facehugger.
Apa tuh?
Hati-hati sama strateginya Sandal Lucas katanya.
Oke, siap.
Aku bisa membayangkan sih.
Aha.
Kalau Rasa Boy ngebalas juga.
Apa katanya?
Hati-hati dengan strategi. Execute. Iya.
Sama ya, sama.
Karena itu adalah emang jiwanya Aura beberapa season yang lalu kan.
Yes,
Kita tahu beberapa season yang lalu Aura selalu dengan satu eksperimental yang emang
Moments, opening up vision. There's just so many things that he's able to do with the Grok. But like we mentioned in the keys to victory with fighting fire with water, Aura understands that. They go for Minotaur and they also go for a Diggy Ban. Minotaur is really good other than for setup. I don't really consider him a setup hero, but he's really good at counter setup. So the fact that that's taken out, as well as a Diggy to negate that counter setup, I think this is brilliant. And they have a Tigreal ban now for Bigatron.
A Tigreal ban. So two heroes that Yawi has shown to actually have, great skill with. But I mean, the Chou is still open. There's still available tools here if he wants to go for something a bit more single target, right? Paquito though will be secured, and that will be for Iran. Quite bad news for Lord GM here, going up against one of the signature heroes. But like we said, they're hiding. Always hiding their roam pick for the final pick because they know they can go for something that's AoE, they can go for something that's safer, or they can go for something single target.
So it's the Rizla, the safe choice that you did mention for Bigatron. They're still gonna go for an initiator. This does mean though that the Dyrot will be placed into the jungle. We saw Gary yesterday play the Dyrot jungle. Didn't work out too well. Dewa lost against the new Evo's Glory team. But let's take a look at the history for Lord JM. Hope Cup, first place when they beat Evo's Glory in the Grand Finals. This ML Invitational, first place, and Kings League Tournament, first place. I was back when it was the next play, and Archives Esports. Kufra, though, will be Key's choice.
That's the first Kufra we've seen this season, is it not?
It is.
Okay.
I believe so.
I mean, we were talking about how flexible Key is in the roaming position, and he's flexing it right now, picking up a hero that we haven't seen in quite some time, the Kufra. Now Aura, how will they respond? They respond with a Chou. That's Yawi's Chou.
That's a scary Chou.
That's the Chou.
I mean, it's gonna be a very threatening, menacing Chou, but you have to look at the drafts, man, for Bigatron. If one guy gets kicked away with the Way of Dragon, they can re-engage, they can help him out with the penalty zone, they can go in with the Tyrant's Revenge combo, and Vexana can also try and apply the crowd control, so there's a lot of ways that Bigatron can really counter that. It'll come down to the maneuvering, right? I think the execution will be solid from both these teams. The maneuver and the control, especially for Aura with the Novaria, with the Paquito, I think that is exactly what Aura will try and use. Because in a pure 5v5, I think Bigatron has a huge advantage here.
Exactly, and even looking at the counter index, it looks like Bigatron is up a few points. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, as we enter the Land of Dawn for the first game of week number 2, day number 2. It's the Dragons and the Robots who will come out on top in game number 1.
The young robot in his first match, in his debut, already up against Aran. And the best Chou of all time, G.
That's a huge title, man. Best Chou of all time. I do wonder, especially in the mid lane though, how is this gonna play out? Because, ooh, there you go. That's the Kufra, extra crowd control plus a Vexana kind of combo. It's very lethal and dangerous in the mid lane, but Chou can provide more wave clear, and so can a Novaria. So I think there's gonna be a lot of back and forth when it comes to that mid trio before both teams just try and rotate and try and dictate the balance in the side lanes or in the jungle.
So we'll see here, already rotation.
Shield Unity on Super Can, very low key. Gets a Time's Revenge as Yawi tries to jump in with a G Kundo and a Shun Boom. Does go for it, but will not be able to connect on that G Kundo. Key got that bouncing ball off before the dashes.
I have a question here though, Arashi. It looks like both of these mages have not opted to go for Purify, despite the CC coming in from both of the teams.
Especially for Bigatron Alpha, I believe Moreno finds it pretty simple. If he gets jumped on, he's gonna be playing so far back behind all these tanky frontliners that they can counter-engage and punish any kind of over-aggression. And he can also preemptively cast the Eternal Guard before the engage gets near him. So he's actually relatively safe unless there's anything too crazy, and there's no real big AoE coming in from Aura. For Yeskiel, I think the mindset is quite similar. He is super long range, and he's not willing to really put himself in any position. So it's definitely more difficult to guarantee safety for Yeskiel, but you know, he's that confident in his execution.
Yeah, let's see if the confidence pays off though. You can already see a rotation coming up, down in the top side. Lord JM actually. He's getting chunked quite low, but you can see here now Gugun, #1 in terms of objective take. Can he take this against Bigatron?
Yawi's getting low. Still able to get out. Jikundo as well gets a Chunpu reset to disengage, but that will mean that Aura will have to give a bit of prio back to BTR. Lord JM knows where Aran is, knows of this lingering threat with Aran there. Shield Unity going to be used up over with a penalty zone, locking him down. It's Gugun who wins out the right tree battle, but in the team fight, Bigatron are taking it. Yawi with a flicker Jikundo on the way to Dragon, over to Super Ken, locking him down, but no follow-up next. Oh, Yeskiel tried to predict Super Ken's movement. Who won that trade? Kill for Turtle.
I think Bigatron Alpha definitely win it. They did trade out not Key, sorry. They did get the kill to punish, but Gugun once again showing that he can match up even against Super Ken in the neutral objective contest. Looking at the talent prediction by Samsung Galaxy though, you're seeing the usual coming from Mirko, to say the least.
The usual. Well, you looking at me, Eterna?
No reason.
Okay. I see you've also tried to curse your team.
Wow, dude.
Anyway,
Back to the point.
the young dragon was a level below of Super Ken, and he was still able to get that retribution. How?
I think at this point some people are chalking it up to luck, but I think as a team, everyone from Aura went in at the right time as well, despite the fact that, I mean, Lord GM tried to actually go with the penalty zone at the right moment, but hey, Gugun now, danger zone.
Good Terrify earlier, the Abyssum Strike though connects right with the Eternal Guard and knocks him up. Now it's going to be Key with Tyrant's Rage. Kabuki able to dodge away from it. Gugun still in the midst of it all as Key pops into Tyrant's Revenge to back off. Gugun very low, Iman doing a lot of damage. 2-0 lead now for BTR as Iman continues to bully. Goes in. Kabuki, no Purify.
Kabuki?
He used it already. No kill for Iman. They're able to disengage. Oran has rotated with Yeskiel down below. Kabuki will recall, and this will give a whole lot of tempo to Iman.
That would have been so brutal if Kabuki got taken down earlier on. I mean, Bigatron already has a 600 gold lead. With Aman picking up this Has Clause, is there any significance to that?
Well, that means that he can stay in lane a lot longer, right? He doesn't have to care too much about the small trading engages that Kabuki will try and use on that carry, but look at that, whoa!
Amazing way the Dragon play onto the Roamer. Even Gugun jumping in with Shield Unity. This might be bad for Gugun. Oh, Aran jumps in. Abyssum Strike and Eternal Guard onto 3 members. Gugun very low, gets caught in the Curse Blast. And again, Yawi gets out, but it's a double kill for Moreno.
That was insane, man. The fact that Aura were able to get some kind of advantage play, trying to set up for the spawning turtle, but then they go too deep near the turret, and they clump together against Vexana. And you're seeing again the Curse Blast, the passive also applied, leading to Moreno just getting 2 kills right there in one fell swoop. He's going for the Glowing Wand for more damage very, very early on. He went with the Impure Rage, so he doesn't really have the same kind of mana issues if he went for something like a Lethal Ignition. And that's really paying off in his mana usage and in his contest of control in the lane control in the mid lane.
I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that decision that they made in the mid lane earlier on resulted eventually to a 2,000 gold lead now for Bigatron in the first 6 minutes of the game, as they were able to utilize that 2-1 trade to get the objective and ultimately get the turret in the bottom lane. That's not the best decision made by Aura.
I think it's a very weird decision for Gugun. Something
Right.
uncharacteristic so far.
Usually we see him a bit more objective-minded, but right there, again, going under the turret was something I wasn't expecting, especially against Vexana, because we've seen a lot of assassins and tanks alike go under the turret against Vexana. It never ends well. There's just way too much crowd control, and when you're terrified, you can't really make anything happen. So I think it's just something that they should really avoid here.
Tyrant's Revenge and the Rage, but the Shield Unity is there onto the back of Mon. Sliding tackle, trying to get out of here, but Key gets knocked out, and Gugun picks up a kill too. And Mon and Key taken out.
Man, that was a good trade, right? For Aura, I mean, now that's a 1,000 gold lead, so that entire thing made the difference, and Yawi goes in again?
Super Chen has a lot of sustain though. He's a very tanky Dairoth.
Play utility for sure, but you're seeing again, Aura, very single target heavy here, especially in that mid lane. Yes, skill can provide a lot of damage, but not in rapid fashion. So that is something that Aura needs to try and do, right? Maybe get some control with the Paquito first, and then go for these fights that can really surprise Bigatron, instead of going for a proper setup like this, because this really, I think, favors Bigatron, and he knows it. He's waiting for a chance.
Yawi has the way. The Dragon jumps into the back right there with a flicker. Yawi going to be taken low. Tyre's Rage locks him out. Iman in the midst of it all, jumped on by Iran. He goes over to the knockout strike, a sliding tackle in the last moment, and Iran will be able to get key, but Iman picks up the kill. Meanwhile, the Turtle did go to Bigatron Alpha with Lord JM zoning the back line.
So that's a 2-for-2 trade, but Bigatron get the Turtle. Who was it worth it for?
Well, they get a Turtle, but if you look at the gold swing, actually, Aura has managed to close down that gold gap even more right here. But Bigatron, again, don't stay still. They immediately go for more objectives. The fact that Aura was able to actually kind of get a somewhat even trade was impressive enough to me. And that's because Yawi just really pulled the trigger, made the first move right there, even though Bigatron has more tools available to do so.
But that's a problem, right? Bigatron has so many tools available towards them right now, but Yawi goes in.
Jikundo into the way of Dragon. That's Yawi who picks up the kill. Another pick for the Cho.
And that's a no Purify diff.
I was about to say, should have taken Purify if you don't want that to happen. But Marina will definitely, quote-unquote, learn from this experience. He'll be playing further back right now, because at this point, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, this is where teams can really start grouping together. That's exactly what Bigatron wants. So I think they have to set up on the opposite side of the neutral objective and maybe try and hunt Aran down before he becomes that big of a problem.
Yeah, it looks like he's pushing already in the bottom side here, looking to create space. Would you say that Bigatron has a better teamfight composition? And if that's the case, do Aura Fire want to split things up a little bit more? Not make it a little bit more chaotic for Bigatron?
I think Aura definitely has more single target. They have more ways to be annoying. A lot of their heroes can really escape from sticky situation, and Gugun can be so many places at the same time due to the shield unity. So I think mobility is definitely in favor of Aura. So this is the matchup we're looking at. Pure power, pure strength, pure crowd control and tankiness against the mobility, the flanks coming in from Aura. So Bigatron, they have to try and get eyes on their backs, but whoa!
Away the Dragon under the turret, a full dive from 3 members of Aura. Lord JM gets out though, and the Lord is up top. They're going for it. Gugun, shield unity, buying a lot of time, jumps back in to the midst of it all as Gugun pops into towards the Poissons. Now Yawi in the back, tries to go for the Jikundo, unable to find it. Gugun now gonna be shredded down by Iman as he rotates faster. And now it's Yawi who's looking for a very, very tough call to go for it. He gets taken out by Iman as he picks up a double kill. Even a run. The call in the bottom lane did not work out, and BTR capitalize.
That is not what you would expect. Usually Aura are the ones who wait for the moment, pull Bigatron away, but the fact that they went for a 2-man commit, trying to out-mind game, outmaneuver Bigatron, that was just not the way to go. They did not get the Terizla, and they were unable to get to the Lord on time. They were the ones scrambling to enter the zone, and when that happens, even the likes of Gugun cannot save the situation.
Feels like it was a missed call here by Aura. They're giving up a 4K gold lead now to Bigatron, and you know what Bigatron can do with a small lead. They can snowball. If Aura keep making these decisions that eventually don't pay off, I don't see a way that they can go for it. But look at this, Bigatron already with the conceal. Is Key looking for a play here?
Just charging that Tyrant's Revenge. He actually finds Gugun. Let's go for Rage. He does it in the end with a shred of the physical defense as well. Iman still free hitting in the back. Yawi's very low. Still able to get at least a trade back in its Key and Lord JM who falls. So 2-1 in favor of Aura.
A bit over-aggressive from Bigatron right there. They're trying to siege, but there wasn't really any requirement to go for a pickoff right there. And they even go on Gugun, one of the tankier members. If you look at his itemizations, he is absolutely recognizing the fact that Iman on the Bruno has been snowballing, has a huge gold advantage. He went for the blade armor, but if you look at his items, the endless battle as well will help with the true damage, and he also has a Wind of Nature available for even more sustain in the middle of these big fights, but also the physical damage immunity, especially when Aran tries to come in with the plays, with the flicker on the Paquito.
But why go for Bloodlust? What makes this particular game
Endless, you mean?
special? Endless, sorry.
Endless battle.
Why go for that in particular for this game?
Well, against a lot of the quote-unquote tankier members, I think it's still a pretty good item for sure. More burst damage when they want to try and match the pickoff potential. But even then, the more sustain and the easiness to proc it, because you can use it, you can proc that item twice with the first skill. So I think that is something that can be utilized really well for a Bruno.
I see. Now here we are, ladies and gentlemen, 12 minutes in of this first game. The battle between the Reds, the Red Robots, and the Red Dragons. You can already see here Key looking to charge. He actually gets it.
That's a good steal from Yawi though. A possible reinitiation as the Tyrant Rage goes into the back line right now. The penalty zone zones him away. A good purify from Aman. Still able to kite back forward now. He picks up the Unstoppables. Kabuki does the same thing, but only to the Eternal Guard as Moreno now goes onto Gugun, forces him back very, very low. They only lose Yawi for Key. Two roamers traded back and forth.
Oh, that could have ended even worse. But yes, that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade here between both of the roamers, with Moreno being very aggressive earlier on with that flicker forward. He actually nearly took Gugun down, and that would have been a completely different story around this Lord.
It would have been very valuable for tempo for Bigatron to force Aura to for a Lord fight without the jungler, but now Gugun might do it again.
There's a level behind, penalty zone, lock him down with the Cursed Blast and Eternal Guard! Almost Yehezkiel got the steal. Aran now still trying to desperately run away, but Moreno gets him with the final proc of that passive. It's 2-4-0 plus the Lord in hand. Super Ken with the on-point retribution.
Bigatron just taking full control right there. Now with the Lord, trying to find more plays as Key is charging up. He finds it!
The Tyrant finds Yehezkiel, and even then, Super Ken jumps in with Iman, getting the fadeaway kill and a question mark emote. With three members down, no Aran, no Gugun, no Yehezkiel. How will they defend? Key jumps in, Tyrant Bench over to Yawi, who's still able to get out with Jikundo. Now on the top side, there are minions coming down. Iman looking to go for Shred. And the penalty zone locks Gugun again. Iman slide tackling forward to get the godlike. Yawi, Jikundo into the midst of it all once again with the way the Dragon defensively used up the Eternal Guard. Will slash through. It's a triple kill for Iman. Make it a maniac for Iman. He gets a Savage in the first week and a Maniac in the third.
GGWP, Bigatron take game number 1. Very